Hey, what's up, my little tattletales? Listen, I know that you've heard by now, and if you haven't, there is actual court documents evidence along with text messages that Rob Kardashian abused Angela, Blac Chyna, and Adrienne from The Real. Now, I know what you guys are saying. Adrienne's still cool with them. Well, guess what? We got the court documents, but you guys, I dug deeper. Guess what? Today at 9:45 Eastern Standard Time, I am going live with attorney April A. Robertson. You guys might know her as Court Chronicles. You guys, she is one of in-house observers. She has all the evidence. She has all the receipts. You guys, this gets deep. Mental abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, all covered up. This is a tale of them exploiting Blac Chyna, exploiting her daughter. We're going to show you the evidence in the live. We're also getting into everything that Kris Jenner has going on. You guys, this is going to be a deep live. Attorney Esquire's on her money. And listen, enough of TMZ, enough of Radar, enough of things. I went to the source. She's been investigating for a long time. You are not going to believe what she uncovered, what was buried, and what's going on. 9:45 Eastern Standard Time tonight. And guess what? You know your girl hooked you up. And we got attorney April Robertson locked in for the rest of the week, where she is going to do an in-house live recap as soon as the courts close. Listen, we don't need TMZ giving us their narrative. We don't need Radar R9. And listen, everybody's talking about the Blac Chyna trial, but you know your girl is always going to hook you up with actual factual sources, evidence, and you know we coming with the receipts. April got receipts for days. Court Chronicles, you are going to love her. You're going to love this. All right. Let's get into this evidence. Now, first of all, why is it not being widely reported that Rob actually abused Angela? You know why? Because let's go back and let's roll it back, because this is so deep. It has to do with Lisa Bloom. If you guys don't remember, when Blac Chyna first went into a custody battle with Robert Kardashian, right? She hired Lisa Bloom as her attorney. Now, you guys know I think Lisa Bloom is the ops, but just follow me. This reads like a soap opera conspiracy, but you can't make this up. So what was the next thing that happened? I'll let you know. She hired Lisa Bloom. They made a custody agreement. We'll go more in depth on the live. But that custody agreement said that Rob would pay her $20,000 a month in some sort of support, but it wasn't child support. It was a weird wording, right? Then Chyna, in agreement, because she wanted to put it all behind, said that she would not further the charges with Rob when it comes to the domestic abuse. This is my understanding of it. Again, for the live, we'll go in. I'm just giving you the overall. However, Lisa Bloom made her sign encouraged her to sign a really bad contract, because here's the thing. Shortly after she received her first payment, if I'm not mistaken, about 3 weeks after that, Rob literally said that he had no income and that officially stopped in that support that Chyna had agreed to with Rob. Now, here's the thing. Had it been classified as child support, Rob wouldn't have been able to stop. That $20,000 would have had to been paid from now until Dream turned 18. However, that's not actually what happened. It was on the wording, and in my opinion, a good attorney that was actually on your side would have been able to fight for that wording. But in agreement for that bad deal, Chyna said she would not pursue charges. Now, let's get into actually what happened with Rob, and let's also get into what happened with Adrienne. Side note, how is Adrienne from The Real still cool with that family after all these things happen? It really does defy logic that she's still cool with the family after all these things happen. You guys, you know what? Let's get into this, and guess what? You know what the scariest thing is? You know what the sickest thing is? You know what the most low-down thing is? Kris Jenner 100% knew. How do we know that? We have the text messages that Chyna sent to her begging for help and also saying she was going to file a restraining order. You guys, listen. Court Chronicles and I are going to be Attorney Robinson are going to be going over all the specifics. But you guys, she has receipts, and there's so much uncovered evidence that you haven't heard from anyone. that couple she's eyewitness with my other court observers going live after the trial. Listen, if y'all thought the coverage of the Tasha K trial was up, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. And we're also going to let you know what other receipts we are going to release Monday through Friday, because you guys, this is beyond. And I know in the commenters, you know what, let me shut up. I'll say what I spill for afterwards. Let's get into this juice, and then we'll hit you back. We're going to jump back in. I'm going to let you guys know a little bit more. But regardless, I'll see you at 9:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. Don't be late. All right, so this was domestic violence on April 8th, 2017. These are from actual court documents, page 10 of Blac Chyna's lawsuit. Rob Kardashian has not only been verbally abusive, but he's also been physically violent with Mrs. White in the past, even in their December 2016 breakup. On or around April 8, 2017, Robert was angry with Mrs. White and was speaking poorly about her in front of her 4-year-old son, King. That's right, that piece of crap allegedly was verbally abusing her in front of her son. When Chyna told Rob that he could not speak about her this way in front of her young son, he exclaimed, "I can say whatever the F I want." Chyna then used her phone to call King's father Tyga, when Rob immediately grabbed the phone from her hand and violently knocked her to the ground, where she landed on her hands and knees. Rob is a large man, don't you know it, the refrigerator Kardashian, of 6'2" and weighs 280 pounds, whereas Chyna is a petite woman of only 5'2". Accordingly, Rob easily knocked Chyna to the ground in just one fell swoop. Chyna was terrified and injured as a result of Rob knocking her to the ground. As a result, Miss White texted King's nanny and said, "Rob hit me. Come quick." Miss White's 4-year-old son witnessed the defendant violently knocking his mother to the ground. Now, here are the messages we're speaking of to Jenny, that is the nanny. "Rob hit me. Please come." "What? On my way." "Yeah, but be calm. I'm getting an order on Monday to stay away." "Jenny, okay, I will. I'm on my way. Okay, are you okay? What was on FaceTime with Chyna?" I guess she was texting the wrong person. You guys, can you imagine being verbally and physically abused in front of your child, and when you try to come from help, being knocked around, right? Being knocked around. Now, she texted the nanny. Let me just clarify, right? However, she then called Kris Jenner. This is what is actually being alleged, that she called Kris Jenner after that and said, "Get over here. Basically, your son is acting a fool." Now, on the stand, interestingly enough, Kris actually said she doesn't remember who called her. She thinks it was Rob or Chyna. It turns out it may have been Chyna. But you guys, that's not all. Rob has a history of abuse. Let's get into what actually went down between him and Adrienne. This is Adrienne Bailon, right? Rob Kardashian dated Adrienne from 2007 to 2009. The relationship was even briefly featured on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. In one episode, Rob is seen fighting with his then girlfriend Adrienne in front of his family. In this clip, Rob yells at Bailon for calling off the effing wedding in India. Rob then violently grabbed Adrienne by the arm and slapped her across her face. Now, if you zoom in on this picture, look at Adrienne's face. Does this look like someone that's playing it up for cameras? I remember when this happened, and they tried to play it off and say it was a joke, but nobody thought it was funny at that time. Mind you, the producers are still talking about how they didn't want to show anything dysfunctional on Rob and Chyna. So unless they were a pretty happy family, that's why it got actually deleted. We're not over, right? Let's get back into it. So he grabbed Adrienne by the arm and slapped her across the face as his mother, defendant Kris Jenner, looks on. Later in the episode, it is revealed that Rob thought it would be funny to pretend he was slapping his girlfriend and that the altercation was merely a prank. In doing so, Rob Kardashian played domestic violence for laughs in the early episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Then in 2014, years after the couple split, Bailon again became a target for Rob and his famous family when she addressed her stint on the Kardashians reality show in an interview with Latina magazine. During this interview, Bailon said, to be stuck with that Kardashian label, that was so hurtful to me and my career. I probably realized that too late. Not that it would have affected my decisions in terms of who I dated, but it would have affected my decision to appear on the show. Adrienne also claimed that she still received hate from Kardashian fans, saying, to this day, people would say, you ruined Rob's life. And I'll think, damn, I was still playing with Barbie dolls when I met him. You guys, again, they wanted to say later on, pretend to be funny, but we all know how the Kardashian retape scenes. I'm asking you to look at Adrienne's face. Let me know if you think that this is one of their pre-tape fake scenes or if this was real. Anyway, you guys, we have way more receipts. This is just the tip of the iceberg. If you want real, authentic, actual, knowledgeable, join me and Attorney Esquire tonight, 9:45 Eastern Standard Time. If you are watching this after, go on and finish watching this video and then catch the playback. You guys will not be funny. The evidence we have, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Mama, we are bringing receipts and I know you gonna love it. Anyway, my little tattletales, I will see you tonight, tomorrow, and every other night because, Mama, we got the receipts.